It's just a cup noodle. Why so complicated? Hey, are you all from Raffles or are you all from Raffles? Naomi is what race? Even worse still, Naomi, your mother is from where? No, you everything then you add hot water. You want to eat cup noodle before meh? I have nothing to say. TikTok video. When two Raffles students make cup noodles, the hashtag maybe go viral. You go the other side and video them. 45 minutes? Wow, we missed that moment eh. That video is the from which point ah? Yeah. Hey, you all are going on obvious thing. You have to put it, then it will. No, it needs to soak in the hot water ma. Then it will bloom ma. Correct or not? You need to rehydrate this thing what? Wow, sia lah, you all ah, don't tell me which school you all from. She cover. The title of the video is called When Two Raffles Students Make Cup Noodles. Instructions 45 minutes soaking. Soak vegetables later. But $1 or $5 in the cup. What other funny instruction they had just now? So many packets, what do we do with it? When Raffles students cannot handle 6 packets in a cup noodles. The paper. Was Raffles, right? Sorry, Diamond High to paper 2, right? 2019. Am I right? No, I'm not 2019. Not 2019 meh? Wow, everybody's on the wrong page. So which one is it again?
Is the first question is describe four. Oh yeah. We thought it was what?
What, Tiagesh? No lah.
Okay, I wasn't right. I was close. Okay, yes.
I think it's 2019 then.
No, but do you mean the one that we haven't finished going through yet?
That's 2019 ah.
Oh, the one we did last week.
I'm really lost. I gave you all paper 2 or paper 3.
The one you gave for homework is 2010. I don't know what paper.
Yes, that one. Yes, this one. Paper 2. 2010 paper 2.
Oh, it's 2010.
10.
Wait, no, like the one.
Oh, we haven't finished now.
So diligent.
Okay, so let's finish on the 19th. Then we'll go through the 2010. Right now.
Yes.
You all get the answers for 2010?
I just got it today.
Hey, you can be tired.
The paper is also.
Yeah, you know Naomi
No,
from the school.
because listen, on Thursday I was gonna pass it to you. Then as I was walking back to class, I saw you walk out of the.
And so you just didn't bother.
School. Hey, I literally did you a favor by bringing it to school. Why don't you come to my class and get it from me? Do you want? sorry.
Not touching it. Okay. So in the end you did pass to her or you didn't pass to her?
Pass to her.
Ha, today ah.
Can you?
See, if you have passed to her, then it saves you the trouble of scanning it.
I was.
Okay lah, you got a lot of time lah. Then you slowly scan.
Really? sick on Fridays, Naomi. I was actually really sick.
Why nobody will be sick on Friday?
No, because like Fridays 12:30. Fridays are very chill. Fun.
Oh, yeah, actually, lah.
Like no one's sick on Friday. Are we gonna pass? No, because I thought there was school on Monday, and I forgot there wasn't school on Monday because of the physics prac. So I was like,
Hey, later you upload the video on TikTok, see got.
no.
You share it on. You will like transfer. Then you set up an account. Then you put a hashtag tuition with Claire, maybe I get more students. You know, just now they made one cup noodle. Oh. Damn complicated eh. Huh? Oh, there's so many packet ah. Do we put this after the water? I was like, it's just cup noodle eh. Why so complicated? Then do we add it for 45 minutes? Yeah, I heard 45.
It's not that stupid. He's cut out the first part of this before you send to him. Thank you. Just using your cap pencil. It's called being smart.
Still gonna leave a ring for whatever you use your.
Okay, come, let's go through the 2019. We had the last one. I told you all go back and check, then we go through the ones you have questions, right? Am I right? or not? Ladies and ladies.
Yes. Actually, I think we are like almost done.
Yeah, I think we left one question if I didn't remember wrongly, right?
What do you think? 45 minutes, remember?
I cannot think of food now. I'm so full.
Are you coming back from the clinic?
Yeah, I came back from clinic, but my lunch was like at 2 p.m. And then there was like this lunch deal I had with all my clinic assistants. And then it was like, there were two main courses, like Hainanese pork chop with rice. And then there was fish and chips. And then we each got one cup of iced lemon tea. Each got one cup of soup. Each got one garlic bread. And it came with a kaya cake like this size. So yeah, it was a very huge lunch. So I'm very,
You all finished?
yeah. I always finish my food. Even if I don't, I keep it.
Yeah, sure, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it in there. It's on. Yeah.
You didn't
all
put it
best.
just now?
Good. I'm Chinese. Now then you Chinese anymore. I don't say Chinese. Hey, the other day you came to my house, you were like, so different from my girl. Do you remember?
Different bag.
Different good.
Okay, come. Your section B. Bring on your questions. It smells like peanut. But I think it's sesame. He's massaging the packets. It looks like I'm massaging the packet. She's like doing this. It's been victimized. If no question, then I jump to 2010.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
How do you know the other shop, right?
Yeah.
So
Sometimes it may not matter. Sometimes. Yeah, I think in this case it may not matter because they are both three directing. You're talking about these two, right? Oh, so blue. Honestly. Talking about these two, is it? Like the order don't matter, right? Because this one is three directing, right? So it will direct 1, 2, 3. So it will direct here, right? Then if you have done the nitration first, right, it would also have been three directing, so they would have been the same. If you flip them, that means not isomers. You know what I mean? So if you now this is the result of the one that you have now, right? Then if you flipped it, right? If you did the other way around, you did nitration followed by adding this one, right? Let's call this acylation, right? Then it will still be the same product. These two are the same.
Wait, nitration is what?
You can do nitration first also.
But you're still
Oh, then cannot lor. Oh, then cannot. You must start with this one, is it?
also you can't do nitration because this is too.
Yeah. Because if you do nitration, then yeah. No, wait, if you want to do what was your order? What's the order you want to do first? You are supposed to start with this, right? So if you did nitration at this point, this will direct to 2,4. Then you won't get this one. So you cannot do nitration first.
Why? Good job.
Okay, because this one will be because this point, this one will be 2,4 directing. This one is 3 directing.
Are you playing your guess on me?
Okay, also, I'm follow up.
Mm.
I'll just say it. So, I just want to clarify for deactivating and activating group. Does it then determine whether it's 2, 4, or 3, right?
Most of the time, yes. Most of the time, yes. So if it's activating it,
2, 4.
and then if it's deactivating it,
3, right?
yeah. But for chlorine, 2, 4 directing, but you know how to identify, right, whether activating or not.
Yeah, so I did double. If it's yeah.
The carbon bonded to this, right? I put it simply lah. If this is a sp3, right? Then it's activating. Okay? If this is not sp3, then it's deactivating.
How do you explain whether a group is activating or deactivating?
You don't need sp. Yeah. But generally, it's because they have a pi bond. If it's not sp3, it's likely to have a pi bond overlap. That's why. Then the order of their activation, right, or rather deactivation, is dependent on how their p orbitals interact with the pi electron cloud. That one probably need like higher level research already. One day you all pursue your PhD in chemistry, you can come back and tell me. Which probably, but then that information might probably be too simple. Have you all decided what course you want to go? Still no.
No.
What you want to do? You want to do law? Wait, study law. I don't think any of them told me they were going to do law. I dissuaded one of them from going to sociology.
Any of them is psychology?
I think more of them wanted, but I also think it's another. Like when you graduate, you get like what you gonna do degree thing. If you want to go psychology, you want to go be a psychiatrist. You know difference, right? You know difference between psychologists and psychiatrists.
Psychiatrist is more medical.
Yeah, can prescribe medicine. Psychologists cannot. Psychologists always. So tell me what you think. How do you feel about that? You also know what course you want. Oh, wait, what bio? You don't take bio what?
I know.
Like all chem is required.
Mm.
You think why you take physics?
No, how did you?
Bio.
You miss bio now. Now that you're taking physics, you miss bio.
I mean, if I had the option, or if I was.
My time you can take triple science.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah, my time
So
can.
harder.
So I don't really.
Actually, what is better, because some of us are like that one. We cannot take humans one. But if you have to do, if you some of us would rather do triple science than take another econs or take another history. Yeah, I didn't take. Then we can take like double math, double science. Yeah, but double math, double science, they usually don't let you take bio. It's always like a FMCP. Yeah. So last time double math was FMCP. Then you cannot take like a FMCB, cannot. Yeah, but I think 2 batches after mine was when they started this H1 H2 system thing. Yeah, which is like I really don't like this system. I'm so glad I'm not born in your era. I think I would die, if I have to take one H1 econs or any other human subject. I don't like any other human subject.
You did?
No, worst. Worst of the worst. I'll be like wasting 2 years of my life, man. Geog, maybe okay. But I cannot handle my time the geography is very easy one. Don't need to answer by level one. Like they tell you describe how a river is formed 6 marks. From beginning to end, you describe how you get the 6 marks already.
That's like
You got 6 steps of description. You have 6 steps of description, you get 6 marks already. You don't need to answer to what level 3 or level 4 answer one. Yeah. So my time you just write the hell how you can on the paper, right? Easily every paper you can score 80% one.
It sounds like another bio.
And then I was the first batch that they introduced the L1 to L5 thing. I was the first batch that took freaking social studies. I was a guinea pig tag, okay? I was a guinea pig tag, and there was no past year paper to do No past year paper. I was the very, very first batch to take the SS with something, the combination, and I hated it. I really hated it. That moment that they convert, right, my history score went from 80 to 20. Yeah, I'm very bad at things, so yeah, I'm really, really glad but when I went to A level, they didn't have that.
So now I still don't know what social studies is.
You also long useless one, right?
What they all
It's
learn.
like GP, right?
I hate it.
It's like GP, right? Sort of.
Oh. Okay, like the structure is the same as history, but it somehow like a lot worse. Because like they're both inference questions. See, like the structure.
And they call it half a subject, but it's a lot to study for half a subject.
Really?
Yeah. Like in 2 years, like each team has like what 4 or 5 chapters. Then there were like total of 6 teams or 5 teams like that. Yeah, I don't know whether I think they might have restructured the whole thing since my time because after my time they had like terrorist attack, all this the 911 incident, all this. Yeah, I took it before 911 so I think they introduced that topic after they keep revamping So my time was very easy. It was always like Singapore independence.
That's history.
Yeah, but then they got some things like studying the Switzerland's system. Yeah, like why is Switzerland so successful as a country? And then they compare Switzerland to Singapore. Yeah. Then do you still have that Switzerland? Don't have.
Also, it's fun.
France I don't think France is very.
All the African
Is France a very successful country? Because Singapore is studying the success of France.
No, imagine now.
Not just like
What's the measure of success? I think they study the system Number of frustrated students. Maybe.
okay.
Then there was like the rise and fall of Venice. Do you still have that? Don't have. See the syllabus all changed. So actually your past year paper probably also don't apply because they keep updating. Because it's social studies, it's like current affairs, Yeah.
What did you do?
Okay, come. Any question before I move on to 2010?
No.
Yeah, guess. Oh my god, yes, I'm still in my class. Win already. Okay, if no question, then I move on to 2010.
Oh, you're definitely there right now.
He's literally still in school. Doing his whatever it is in school.
But is he online? No.
No.
Oh.
So next week you all have camp prep on one day Gosh, we have lesson next week. Initially I thought you all have a lot of lessons next week. I thought you all would have like 2 prep. On what day?
Oh, I don't know. I'm so shit.
What's going on this week? There's nothing. Wednesday. I can do Wednesday. Oh wait, Wednesday is your practical. Sorry.
So I end at 5.
What time you all end on Thursdays? Late, I suppose.
I end at 1.
2:45.
You?
I'm sorry.
How can
You
you
don't
not
remember?
remember your
No.
own time?
Isn't that the
No.
you add 3? True?
Yeah, 1.
Okay, I'll check with Diagesh if he ends early on Thursday. Okay?
Yeah, same. I don't think it ends early on any day.
He's like quite chum then cannot skip also. Cannot tell he so good, but he like, I use up my parent letter, then cannot skip already.
My teachers don't even care.
Yeah, I thought that's what I thought actually. The teachers might care, but I thought y'all wouldn't care. Okay, any more question? If not, then I move on to 2010. If still no question, then we will do some practical revision.
For the last question, the last part, we need to know how to do. And it's like sketch the beta treated series.
Oh, don't need. Do that for fun, bio practice.
Yeah.
Can you read it? No, it's like Fantis, which is like old Chinese. So it's like very, very complicated.
I think it's supposed to be a symbol, and then the file didn't convert well. Maybe it's like a dash. Yeah, sometimes when it's not characters, they. Oh my.
I think it's just like didn't print properly, right?
Yeah, but I need to know what process.
Oh my god.
Which page is
What is that? This one
But that was paper 3, right?
Yeah, it's this one. This page.
My paper 2 come out okay. It's the paper 3 that got a problem. Which you all don't need to do.
Wait, what? Yours came out.
Yeah,
Mine
mine
didn't.
was
Nah, you take mine.
Mine was also like that.
Yours is screwed up also?
Yeah.
Okay, wait,
Oh, then we should.
No, you have it. I have the.
But it's alright though. The answer is there, but
Oh, I sure.
Why not eat two? They also put this question.
I did.
This is it.
It's quite good, right? Do you like it better than? Yeah, I don't think better than the
Is yours messed up?
Just like this.
It's it. The A9.
Your one's also like.
This one is messed up also. But what I give her is.
Let's see the
This is messed up still. This looks good. So, get it, isn't
I think so.
True, yours?
Yeah, her one's bad. Small? No, it's also in English. Yeah. No, you have 74.
This one should be fine.
Thank you.
Okay, right. Maybe I want to go through the planning. This planning, they actually gave 2 questions, right? One is actually organic planning, and then the other one is QA. Right or not? Okay, I open the file. Yeah.
We have managed to solve the in the end of that.
Oh, you all tried it? Yeah, we did it all the way until the dice.
Wait,
Wait, another one.
The one they had cooler.
Yeah.
The one that they did was cooler.
Oh yeah, I wanted a real chair. And then like inside individual boxes of it.
Wait, so do you have to open it?
Maybe if I use the this.
Yeah, they're talking about your box, Momo. They're talking about your box. They couldn't solve it.
Everything except for the mask. Because like our body. No. It's easier now. It was really hard, okay? It was really sick. There was a bunch of different color squares for some reason. No.
The word puns.
You should get garbage.
Just tried it, so I can I bought it. Yeah, it looks like this.
There's more colors.
Well, they solved this in 5 minutes. It was quite easy.
So it's easier now.
It's easier.
It's gonna make me feel bad. We don't.
So after y'all left, I figured out right immediately how to fix it.
Oh, you were solving with them.
No, they say couldn't, then they asked me. Then like the moment I was like, I solved it, then I forgot how I did it. Then the moment they step out, then I remember how I did.
How was it?
Forgot again. I need to look at the puzzles.
Not the dice. Each color, but we don't have one shape.
I still don't know.
Okay, okay, I want to go through the planning. Since next week y'all have practical and your practical will have. Yeah. And do y'all get any hints
No.
from your teachers?
I thought there might be clock. My teacher had emphasizing clock today.
Guys, not looking at the clock. My lesson is not ending yet.
No, like. But I don't know, not sure.
You mean your mean chem teacher?
Yeah, that one. So.
Okay, then after this, I'll pull out some which other topics
Yeah,
y'all
not
think they
sure,
will
not
cover.
sure.
Whichever y'all think we will cover, I'll cover for y'all.
You don't have a starter.
Does it change personality?
I see last year one. Y'all know what they came out or not last year? Yeah, I'll show you. They haven't give you last year's paper.
Probably after Chinese somewhere. You sure?
It's like.
Only thing only problem with the paper 4 is that usually it's very hard. I don't know whether y'all can get answers to planning because usually they don't share paper 4. Then if they don't share paper 4 means you don't have paper 4 answers. But you will get your own school one like your prelim they will give you lah. But when the school when they trade, they usually don't trade the paper 4.
Our seniors should have, right?
Their own paper 4?
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I thought you're different school. Okay, so this was last year's practical lah. Okay, last year's paper 4. Only from I think 2019 or 2018, then they started to put planning in paper 4. Previously it was in paper 2. Okay, so if you look at this RB's paper from last year, okay, so this one was the experiment itself lah. Okay, followed this one is determining the KSP of calcium iodate. Okay, so they probably what they do, they say low solubility, small amount dissolve, then you have this, and then you filter, then you have this equilibrium. Then the liberated iodine is then titrated with standard solution of sodium thiosulfate as shown in equation 2. Okay, then you follow, or you don't even need to don't need to perform. Okay, so you transfer this amount to a beaker, then transfer this amount to another beaker, no, to the same beaker. Okay, then you add calcium iodate to the beaker, 3 spatulas. Stir, filter, then collect the filtrate. Okay, so now you have the filtrate. You're gonna carry out titration. Okay, so then as usual do your titration results. Try not to do this in the exam. If you all have to make a correction like this, right, just strike out the whole thing and then you rewrite the whole number. Don't like cancel one number. Okay? Don't know, looks like a careless mistake. Okay, anyway, this is all calculation already. after that she cannot show. Okay, now then we have planning. Okay, see then in this paper if I didn't remember wrongly, they had 2 planning questions. So they might have split the marks. Okay.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Actually, I think might be a better thing because when they split it, right, each is smaller. Then you don't need to write so much. So the things that you write may account for more marks. It's kind of like the 30 MCQ in 1 hour versus the 40 MCQ in 1 hour thing. You get what I mean? Like 40 MCQ, you kind of get more chances and the questions are probably easier, right? 30 questions, you have less chances and the questions are harder, right? Okay, so anyway, potassium iodate, okay, this is talking about the solubility at that temperature lah. Okay, so when it's cooled, it becomes saturated, then the crystals will form. Okay, solubility increases with temperature for most salts. Okay, explain if this is exo or endo. It's not quite easy. This is just a KCP question, LCP question, right? Okay, so now this one at different temperature, they probably will measure the temperature and see how much can dissolve, right? So you add 4 cm cube of deionized water to boiling tube. Okay, 1 gram solid potassium iodate to the room temperature, at room temperature. Okay, so you probably have to measure out 1 gram at 4 cm cube. The solid is undissolved despite stirring. Okay, so now they will heat the boiling tube and then it will dissolve. Right, cool slowly and then the crystals will reappear. So this is your first experiment. Teacher recorded temperature T as 80 and concluded that 1 gram will dissolve in 4 cm cube of water at 80. Okay, because that was the temperature the crystals reappear. The crystals appear. You follow? Okay. Then after that, they carry out experiment 2 by continuing from step 3. So when the crystals appear, what they do? They add measured volume of deionized water to the mixture in the same boiling tube. What's the measured volume? They never say. Repeat the heating and cooling process in step 2 and step 3. But wouldn't the amount of water you use be more and more if you do that? Am I right or not? Experiment 1 is determine 1 gram how much of 1 gram will dissolve in 4 cm cube.
Is that more down?
Yeah, there is. I just wondering if I got anything wrong. Oh, okay lah. So you just have to increase the amount of water, I guess. Solubility of KiO3 can then be calculated using the formula below. Okay, so 100 over the volume of water times the mass of potassium iodate dissolved. In case you're wondering, this 100 originally belong to the left hand side of the equation. It's like now the mass that dissolve over 100 is actually the solubility. No? Easier. Mass of this, mass of potassium iodate dissolved divide by volume of water, right? Equals to solubility per 100 gram of water. So they actually just move the 100 to the right hand side. Okay, so you may assume that density is 1 gram and remain constant over the temperature range. Using the given formula and the teacher's experimental value, calculate solubility. It's quite easy. Okay, so far the first 2 A and B is quite easy.
Repeating the cooling process.
Why do they or why they don't? I think as you add more water, then the temperature that you kind of need will drop also. Either way, they will calculate like per amount of water, so doesn't matter.
Because like then if you keep adding water, won't the volume of water change?
Correct. Then the temperature you need to dissolve will also drop. Okay, so given that is at 10 degrees Celsius is 6.25 gram per 100 gram of water. Calculate the volume of water that will dissolve 1 gram at 10 degrees Celsius. So this one is actually all math, just calculate only. Correct or not? So not a problem, right? Or do you want to try? If you want to try, then I zoom out for you to try. Can see or not? Is it very tiny? Oh, super tiny. Oh, my computer looks okay. Yeah, it's
Experiment 2.
3 experiments and so-called 1 planning. I shouldn't say 1 planning, I should just say like 12 months worth of planning.
This was their prelim last year.
Yeah. So last year one so far this I think there's one more planning question after this. So last year they got solubility, so if you tell me this year could work, possible. Possible. Okay, so y'all can figure, y'all understand the calculation. 100 divide by the volume of water is 4, right? This one is the initial experiment. Then they use 1 gram of potassium iodate, right? So at 80, this calculation tells you that at 80 degrees, 25 grams will dissolve. Okay? Then now they tell you that, okay, at 10 degrees Celsius, okay, 6.25 will dissolve in 100 gram. So they ask you to calculate the volume of water. So actually you just need to make volume of water the subject of the equation now. Okay, simple math. If you cannot do this algebra, jialat, you go back and retake your O-level math. Okay? So if you make volume of water the subject and you calculate, then you find out that you need 16 cm cube of water. Okay? To dissolve 1 gram at 10 degrees Celsius. So like I said, just now, back to your question, they add more and more water, but of course, that means the temperature, you see at 10 degrees Celsius, I need 16 cm cube. The initial experiment was what? 4 cm cube, right? For 80 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now you have to plan the procedure to collect, this is the horror. Okay, collect enough data, okay, to dissolve potassium iodate against temperature drawn. Your plan should make use of the same procedure as described in experiment 1 and 2 and also allow you to determine the solubility at 10 and 80. Okay, so again, as usual, they tell you what you have. You have the 1 gram of potassium iodate. Huh? If I only have 1 gram, then I only carry out one reading. Right or not? Okay, never mind. Deionized water, boiling tube, ice cubes, thermometer covering this range, and then standard equipment.
They don't give you the answer.
I don't think they did. But I can, okay, but let's look at what she wrote. Okay, so you see first step, add potassium iodate. Then she already never say the mass already. Okay, to a weighing bottle and weigh the mass. Technically, you know why she underlined weighing bottle? What's wrong with what's wrong with writing weighing bottle? More importantly,
Empty.
pre-weight.
Oh.
Okay, keyword.
Isn't that step?
I think did they mention that you were provided? See, they tell you weighing bottle, but they didn't tell you it's pre-weight. Okay, so you have to add to the pre-weight weighing bottle. Okay, weigh the mass. Okay, then take the difference and record the mass of potassium iodate added. Okay, see the first step, already a lot of things messy. But you see how she did. You see the way she write. Empty this to a dry test tube and then re-weigh the weighing. Okay, this one is correct. This one, yeah. So she was legit missing lah. What is this? Arrow 2 equal. Wow, the teacher's handwriting I cannot read. M22 equals 0. Can you read or not? The handwriting.
Do some pre-calculation.
For this, I think not really. But the one in the Diamond High one, yes, you have to do pre-calculation. But I think they gave you steps to do it. Oh, one thing about your school's planning, right? Their pre-calculations are not very guided. The A-level ones usually can be quite guided. Like before you start, they probably like tell you some things for y'all to get started with calculation first, or like a few parts before they ask you to write the whole procedure. RI1 is just give you the whole paragraph, the whole line, you just go and write everything, including your pre-calculation. Okay? So so after you empty, then you reweigh the bottle, then the difference will tell you the amount of potassium iodate used. Okay? Then she add 4 cm cube of deionized water from a tip using this one you're right using using a tip pipette, okay, to the boiling tube. You all have tip pipette in the laboratory. Well, that's new. Last time don't have one.
Always give us like a bunch. Yeah.
Really? I think at best we get is a burette. By the time they never give tip pipette, I've never seen one in my life.
Survive. I cannot.
Yeah. No, we cannot do anything without.
Really? My time don't have one eh.
And then they give you a tip back.
And our dropper is like those cheapo plastic like.
Same, right?
Oh, is it? Oh, so okay, that one is still around. Okay, so then heat until all dissolve, stir, okay. Then you cool in a water bath at 250 cm cube. Sorry, in a 250 cm cube beaker. Okay, so you record when the moment the crystals form.
Why is she writing that? Why is she saying 25 to 1? I think it's 0. It's like some.
I have no idea I don't know what your teacher writing.
The marks for each point.
Yeah. Did she get 4 for this? 5.
Later we see.
Where's your
3.
Yeah.
Oh.
1, 2,
What is
4,
up?
6. How
much is the mark
in total?
It's worth. Is it 6?
Wait, so the amount that you add at the start, isn't it?
Hmm? 1 gram. You have to record the mass, ma?
So all she needed to do.
Yeah. Or as close to 1 as you can, so that your readings are more consistent. But if you look at the calculation, right, we actually calculate the mass of this dissolve, ma. So technically, you don't have to be 100% at 1 gram. You can be whatever value you weigh it out. But for consistent result, we try to stay as close as we can to 1 gram. Okay? Follow? Then
Okay, Google. Set the timer 30 minutes.
okay, so
2 minutes. And that's starting now.
okay, so yeah, what's wrong here, huh? Why is there a where? Or she didn't say this one is supposed to be in the boiling tube lah. And preferably, right, if they're gonna repeat, will she repeat it? Yeah, it will be repeated, right?
But you only use
Yeah, you only have 1 gram.
That's what I thought. I was like, why would they only give you 1 gram though? At exactly 2 cm cube. Using a tip pipette, ensuring the dissolve. Cool the test tube further by adding some ice cube. Repeat 7 to 9 until it has a total. So you repeat, you keep adding 2. That's why you only need that 1 gram. Because you repeat using the same one. Yeah, because you repeat using the same one. So and okay, one thing that's missing in her answer also is she should have drawn the table. Record in your results in the following table. Then you draw a table. Volume of water added, temperature at which crystal appeared.
That's only 1 mark, right?
You don't want 1 mark.
No. Because it was like you have to find the something when the temperature is. Oh, I think it will work.
As in up, huh?
Yeah. Which should also allow you to determine the solubility of, like, how do you know that you're gonna reach those temperatures?
Because
You just
Ta-da! Your previous part calculation, right? 10 to 80 ma, correct or not? So you've already calculated that the volume you need will vary from where to where? 4 to 16, no? Okay, can?
And you're supposed to plot.
I tell you, I never seen this experiment before. So, draw table. Oh, okay. So, another thing. Before y'all go and whack, read the entire question first. Okay, very important. This is a very, very useful tip. Look through all your questions first so that you don't write things where you shouldn't and waste your time. Write things where you shouldn't is okay. It's the wasting your time part. Especially you're already like complaining like, 2.5 hours only. Right? Too long.
No, as in like, for this is too short. But like, the thing itself was so long.
Yeah. Okay, so draw tables with appropriate headings to show data you will record when carrying an experiment and show how you will use your data to calculate solubility at each temperature.
Should you just have left all of this blank?
Yeah. And you see, she measured this, right? Okay, she has the volume of water, she has the temperature. What should be the third column? What's missing? Correct. So you should have a third column and then you write the formula. You know what I mean? Using T lah, because we don't know the temperature that you're gonna record. So T1, T2, T3, and so on, right? So you will calculate your solubility with, you will write it in terms of this formula here. Is it this formula? We are calculating solubility, right? 100 over volume of water.
Mass of dissolved you want,
Because that's how much you add.
but like not all of it dissolves, right?
Yeah. That's how.
Oh, so actually this one, right, you can calculate directly already, correct or not, the solubility? Because the volume is fixed, what? Right? 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, right? So the solubility actually has been pre-calculated already. So the only variable you have now is actually the temperature only.
So was she wrong in saying that the mass of KiO3 dissolved is 1? Because like
She's not wrong, but you don't need this data.
Just
I mean, it's just, yeah.
You see, then because you see, this is where she was lost. She thinks that, you see, when she calculated this, right, she's telling me that what like why would she firstly only give me a T1 calculation when you look at this, how you use the data to calculate the solubility at each temperature. So technically, right, at each of these point, right, what she needed to do, she actually had to, I show you okay, what she literally had to do, right, was actually to calculate this one is temperature, then okay, so the missing column actually needed solubility. Okay, then the calculation here was, you should have to calculate 100 over 4 times 1. Then the next one is 100 over 6 times 1. So this is numbers this is actually a predetermined number. It's not experimental. The only experimental value that's coming out of this is actually your temperature. Y'all follow? So this entire column, if it was solubility, and it will be like a gram per 100, gram per, don't know, 100 cm, I think, right? So this is not experimental. This is not a what do you call this, like a measured variable. This one is, y'all follow? Okay, so if she filled this up correctly, then it would have made sense already. But you see, in the end, she everything put 1 gram, 1 gram, 1 gram, 1 gram. Then she go and calculate the solubility like that. So it's quite clear that she didn't understand this question, or she didn't understand what they want out of her in part E.
Wait, why do you need to find the solubility between 6 and 12?
Show how you will use your data to calculate the solubility at each temperature. 8, 10, 12, 14, all of them you have to find. So technically you shouldn't leave it as like that lah. You need to go and compute it out lah. You understand or not? You all have to go and take your calculator and compute, not type it the way I did.
Last question. Why did they say use the data? You're not even using the data this way.
Am I not?
Like what data do you get from the experiment? That this one you're just going 100.
Your data is your volume of water, ma. Your volume of water is a data, ma.
And what would be the dependent, like what would be the independent variable? So like if you plot y against x.
So what you get out of this experiment is that whatever solubility you calculated, you just know that to dissolve this amount at 100 gram, what temperature you need. You all are thinking the other way around, like at this temperature, how much volume of water I need. But by right, functionally, you all look at it, yeah, you all are thinking, okay, per temperature, how much water I need. But the way they are doing the experiment is the other way around because it's hard to set your temperature. You know what I mean? It's hard to make it like okay, I want to test at 10 degrees Celsius, how much will dissolve? Because the solubility not so easy to calculate, ma. You know what I mean? Like you add, then at which point do you really calculate that it really dissolves? Right? So rather than doing that, they set the volume of water and then they do a reversal. They heat it and then they cool and then they observe the temperature at which the crystals will appear. The moment you can see the pop of the crystal. You all follow? So it's a bit of I would say reverse engineering going on.
The way they phrase it makes it seem like the temperature is fixed, like it's the independent variable.
So it does happen that the question might be very confusing like that. So you all need to planning can be like that. Like it's not so straightforward. So that's why I'm not surprised that she's lost because I'm pretty sure you all are maybe on the same track of thinking as her. You all are thinking that like I want to like at 10 degree how much water can dissolve this amount. The same 1 gram lah. At 20 degree how much can dissolve? At 30 degree how much can dissolve? But because the experiment itself is not easy to carry out that way, it has to be reverse engineered. They measure the temperature at which the crystal pop instead of measuring the amount of water that will dissolve it. Okay?
Graph. Oh no graph.
This one? No, I didn't ask for graph.
Oh,
this one is this one is easy.
What is it called? Equivalent.
This one is not. This one is energetics.
Oh.
Energetics experiment very easy one. It's very easy one. This one usually you just measure the highest temperature then styrofoam cup. Yeah.
This was secondary school.
Yeah, this one is okay.
I hope big. Oh, they want to give us some right? Wait, so they didn't have QA? Right?
Haven't yet. I haven't reached yet. This one is the second experiment. Then QA.
Wait, 4 questions?
Yep.
So 4 experiments?
3 experiments, 1 planning. Looks like they didn't split the plannings in this one, so not too bad. So don't be shocked if you all see 2 planning. I warn you all.
So we do the planning last.
Yes. Yes.
So do you recommend like for QA, right? No wait, not QA, like in general, like you do all the experiment stuff first and then you do the theories. Or you just do it side by side?
Usually you're talking about QA or VA. It depends.
Like the whole because if it's QA then you need to write like
for me, when I do it in line one. I do then I calculate. Yeah. But usually my readings all very nice one. Like my 2 burette readings will be exactly the same always. I barely will have anything that is off.
Really? Yeah, I mean like it's not exactly the same.
Because when you my first rough reading, right? Actually, I don't know, y'all do so long, right? Like your indicator, right? You will see at a certain point, right? It becomes it takes longer and longer to the permanent color change. Y'all will notice, right? Then that's when you know you need to start adjusting your burette to drop wise already, ma. Then once you do drop wise, the moment the thing turn, right, you switch off, they will all give you the same reading one. The reason why y'all sometimes have different reading is because y'all overrun. Yeah, y'all haven't like catch the right point to adjust your burette to the drop wise. And your burettes are the tab one, right? Yeah, y'all lucky y'all have the tab one When I was in Anderson the school so poor, right? Theirs is the oldest, ugliest, horrible burettes ever. I show y'all. I'm pretty sure there are poor schools overseas with very, very bad burettes. You see, y'all are this kind, nice one, got tab one, right?
This one won't teach you how to do drop ones.
This one?
Or you just
You can see the whole you don't the whole like don't match fully then you can drop wise already.
No, but don't you just turn it like 180?
No, you can like don't 180 one. You can like make it like a 5-degree angle. Then it will turn drop wise.
So
No, 180 is at the beginning, but the moment you realize your indicator has a
so like just one.
For what?
It's more like dropping the end.
You do a full turn. So like one drop just goes there and then like it's turns.
No leh, I leave it like dropping then the color change then I just close. That's what I do lah. That's what I usually do. When I was in secondary school, the burette is like that. I'm very good. I don't know, maybe the burette different, is it? But you can see, right, when you turn the tab, you can see the whole alignment, right? So when is the two holes match each other, right? Then you get the full flow going, right? Then when you adjust them to like don't align fully, right? You can reach a point where you can adjust the rate of the drop. Correct or not? Y'all realize y'all never realize this moment? So you see when your hole matches like this, right?